Chris Edwards is telling me that, I know there's a lot of things going on in Cloudcroft. Catch me up on some of that first, and then let's talk about this incident from yesterday.
Well, basically what has happened is they allowed a street vendor to come in here and set up on public property, but lo and behold, I just got a call from the Planning and Zoning Commission, one of the members of that, a lady named Tabitha Foster, and come to find out that where they have her set up is basically all federal property, that the warming hut is not even on public property. It doesn't even belong to the village. But anyway, that's where the mayor had put her in, and he's charging her $5 a day to be there. And she's blocking parking spots, and it's a mess. I started looking at my books and saw, you know what, I'm losing drink sales because that one vendor, she's got a prime location and a lot of exposure, and whenever people see that, they grab a drink. Once they get a drink, they're not going to go look for another drink. And so I started looking at my sales, and I've lost 67% of my sales to that street vendor because before she was there, we wasn't. And we looked at the days that she wasn't here, and we was losing 22% because of the road construction that was preventing people from getting up here when they had to work around the tunnel there. So anyway, she's costing me money. She's costing other businesses money that sell drinks. But then if you start adding more vendors in here, you got a bigger problem because they could be selling apparel. They could be selling jewelry. They could be selling barbecue. They could be selling all sorts of things that could really hurt this village tremendously because in the summertime, we depend on our summer sales to get us through the winter.
I reached out to the mayor right after this broke out. I want to say 2 weeks ago. I think that's when it first came out. And I never got a call back, never got an answer, nothing. So is that normal for the area?
I think he learned his lesson from the first time that I had any contact with him because there's a lawsuit going on up here by a individual by the name of Tom, or civil suit against Mayor Denny and James Maynard because whenever they got elected, they wasn't residents of Cloudcroft. And it clearly states in order to run for any position up here or even vote for any position up here, you have to be a full-time resident. That means 12 months out of the year. And neither one of them was doing that according to the lawsuit that's on them. So anyway, I kind of got involved with that, and I got hold of KOAT TV, and we got it aired on a Sunday night, and they interviewed Denny. Maynard wouldn't respond to it. They interviewed Denny, and basically he admitted that, yeah, he should have lived up here more, but he didn't. He's living in his wife's house in Alamogordo. And so I kind of think he's learned not to talk to the media because whenever he's wrong, he gets caught pretty easily.
Yeah, that makes sense. But still, a politician that serves the people should always be willing to speak and defend or explain their actions. But that's just one old grandpa's opinion. He may have a different one.
Well, Anthony, I totally agree with you that with that, politicians should always be transparent and let the community know what they're doing. You know, I think a lot of politicians forget about what they're actually elected to do, and that's to represent their constituents and not represent themselves. And definitely not do favoritism by giving somebody that you personally know a leg up or a handout to help you do something that is harmful for the community. And that's pretty clear that's what's going on here because both of them work at the Otero County Electric Co-op. And they're good. Obviously, they have a close relationship. And I was talking to Tabitha Foster from the Planning and Zoning Commission right before I called you. Talk about timing, huh? Anyway, she was telling me that Miss Powell had went in front of them, and they denied her a license to set up here. They said, we got to look at a lot of stuff, and we just can't give you a license. And that wasn't satisfactory with Mayor Denny. And so he just disregarded what they said, and he put it up to the trustees, and he got them passed to get a business license, and he signed a contract with them.
Yeah, that doesn't sound shady at all, does it?
Well, it's not shady if you live in some place like Russia, and that's how things are done through favoritism, regardless of what people actually want.
I agree. So what's next for you? What is your next move?
Well, my next move is to see if he starts enforcing his contract. And if he doesn't enforce his contract, I don't know, maybe look at a civil suit against him in the village of Cloudcroft for mental stress, loss of revenue, for doing something that's basically illegal. They're breaking the contract. They're advertising on public property. Their little umbrella and their stand sticks out into the street, preventing people from parking properly. It's just a mess. It really is a mess. And I've been considering running for mayor because I just don't like what's going on here, and I don't think he's doing a very good job of it.
Wow. So is that an official declaration?
I won't officially decorate until I actually get my name on the ballot.
That's fair enough.
Because, lots can happen between now and then. I could get ran over by a pickup truck, which has happened before to me in my life, and who knows where I'll be. But, until my name's actually on the ballot, I'm not running for anything. But I am contemplating it and seriously considering it and getting everything together to get my name on the ballot. Let's put it that way.
Well, that seems to make sense to me, my friend. I appreciate you talking to me about this because this is just, it's odd. I mean, this whole thing is just so odd. The fact that the mayor
I don't know how well you know Cloudcroft, but we're a little tourist town.
Right.
And every mom and pop shop up here relies on the summer business to really get them through the winters. And you start giving that away to vendors that come up here during the heaviest months of the tourist season and take that money and leave town, you're going to see mom and pop shops going out of business because they just won't be able to survive with those kind of losses. And then you lose the mom and pop shops, you lose the village, there won't be a Cloudcroft left. What will be left would be a flea market during the summer when vendors will come up here and sell their goods, and come October, September, when it gets cold, they'll be gone. And nobody will be here left to help pay the bills on the water, sewage, property taxes, none of that stuff. So it really has the potential of destroying this community.
That is such a shame because Cloudcroft has such a unique charm about it.
Well,
it needs to be protected.
And I don't mean to interrupt, but the charm about it is how many towns you see left in America that are mom and pop shops.
There are not many.
They pretty much disappeared.
Yeah, I agree. And Cloudcroft is one of the few remaining.
Day and age.
Yes.
And we're going to fight like heck to continue to remain because we know how special it is. There's not very many towns left that are like Cloudcroft where you have mom and pop shops supporting this kind of community.